Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Liz and today I have my very last Valentine's DIYs for you guys for the season, so let's go ahead and jump on in. So for this first DIY, I'm going to take one of these square signs that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Now I hate the amount of glitter that is on the back and it gets all over my workspace when I'm crafting, so just to kind of kill two birds with one stone, I am going to place some hot glue on the back of it and cover the back with some craft paper just to make the back look finished and then to keep that glitter from getting everywhere. So once I am done getting that glued down, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white. I'm going to give the back of the sign, which is now going to be the front, I'm going to do just a sparse and distressed kind of coat. Not everything is going to be completely covered, and that is the way I like it. Once that is all dry, I'm going to go in with my mineral color chalk paint from Waverly, and I'm going to use this ruler leveler that I got from the Dollar Tree to make those lines. I just followed those little indents that were already in the sign to make those lines. And then once I've got those on there, I'm just going to take that same brush and I'm just going to dry brush all around the sides of the sign, and then whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to drag it throughout the sign. I'm just doing this to give it some more distressing, some more texture. Now I'm going to take this love cutout. I believe I got this from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint and steel and I'm going to paint the entire thing. The front, the sides, the insides, just every little piece of it is going to be painted in this color. So I'm going to set that aside to dry, and I'm going to take my sign again with some sandpaper, and I'm just going to go over all those lines to soften them up, make them look a little bit more faded so they aren't super harsh on my sign. So I'm going to take one of these rings that you can get basically from any kind of craft store, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to take some super glue and stick that down to my sign. I didn't use hot glue because hot glue and metal it doesn't work very well, so I wanted to make sure that this was going to stick down. Now I'm going to take the love cutout and I'm going to use some hot glue to hot glue that down to the sign, and I'm just going to put that right in the middle of that ring. Now I'm going to start taking some greenery. You can use whatever greenery you want. The greenery is from Walmart, and then I believe I got these florals from Michael's. And then I'm just going to start placing them down where I think I want them, kind of get an idea of what I want it to look like. So that's what I always do first before I start hot gluing everything down, because once you start hot gluing, you can't really go back without making a huge old mess. So I'm just going to start hot gluing my greenery down to the sign where I want them, and then I'll place my florals on top. And I thought that this would be such a beautiful piece to transition from Valentine's to just spring. Obviously you can use whatever florals you want, but I love the little pops of pink in these for that Valentine's theme. And then really I feel like this is such a neutral piece that it can transition over into your spring decor and that you can leave up even throughout most of the year. So I absolutely love the way that this piece turned out. Now for the hanger, I am going to take a piece of twine and some wooden beads that I got from Amazon. I'll have those linked down below for you. And I'm just going to string those beads on to make a cute little hanger. I am going to string that through the front of the sign, and I tied several knots so that I would have a big enough knot that it wasn't going to fall through the whole of the sign. And that's it for this project. I think it turned out super adorable. I absolutely love it. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. even if
I'm so excited to be collabing with Brittany from Brittany Allen Crafts in today's video. If you guys haven't seen her before, definitely check her out. She makes super adorable DIYs. She has been so sweet and so much fun to work with. So thank you so much, Brittany, for collabing with me today. I'll have all of her information linked down in the description box below, along with her video. So once you are done watching mine, make sure to check down in that description box and click on the link to her video and go show her some love. And if you guys are coming from Brittany's channel, hey, my name's Liz. I love everything DIY and crafting. If that's something that you enjoy as well, consider subscribing to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, where I post stories and other projects that I'm working on, where you can see a little bit more into my personal life with my family. And then you can also shop my decals that I show in my videos on my Facebook shop. For this next project, you're going to take a canvas bag. I got these from burlapfabric.com, which I will link in the description box below. And I'm going to take some roses that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, I love this idea because you can switch out those flowers for any kind of season. So you can really transition this from Valentine's to spring and completely change up the look of this project just by switching out those flowers. So to fill the bottom up, I just stuck some burlap down in there just to make the bottom a little bit more full. And then I'm going to take those roses. I took 2 bundles of them, and I'm just going to fold that stem in, stick it down into the bag, and then I'll pull those strings on the sides tight so that the flowers are a bit more secure in there. And then I'm going to take some of this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to hot glue it together around the top of that bag. I didn't hot glue it down to the bag so that if I wanted to switch out the ribbon, I could. And then I just tied those drawstrings together so that the bag wouldn't come loose. And I'm just going to tie it in a double knot and let those strings hang to the side. I'm going to take that ribbon that I used before and just tie it into a super simple bow, adjusting the loops where needed. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and hot glue my bow right down to that ribbon. And that's it for this project. Like I said, I think this is such a pretty piece to be able to transition to different seasons or different holidays just by switching out those florals. So I love the way this one turned out.
down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
For this next DIY, you're going to take a shadow box that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Anyone will do. I just happen to have this one left over from fall. I'm going to use the back as the front of my sign. I'm just going to remove that sticker and then remove that sawtooth hanger. I'm going to start by painting my sign with my Waverly chalk paint and plaster. I'm just going to go over the sides and the front, and then I will cover the inside of the sides. I'm not going to paint the back because that is going to be covered up anyways. And then I'm going to take one of these heartwood plaques that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I just stained it using my Craft Smart stain in gray. I love this stain because it dries super fast. It's not smelly at all, and it's easy to get off your skin. I just picked mine up from Michael's. And I'm just going to do the same thing that you would do with a regular stain, paint it on, and then I just wiped it off with a paper towel. And then to give it a little bit extra something, a little bit more dimension, I'm going to take some white Waverly chalk paint and I'm just going to dry brush on the front of it, and then I just kind of smeared it in all together and rubbed it in. I'm going to take this scrapbook paper pack that you can get from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to take out a piece of scrapbook paper from there. I'm going to cut it down to size and insert it into the back of my sign. I thought this was so pretty because it's such a light pink that is perfect for Valentine's Day, but then again, it could also transition to spring. I'm going to take a tumbling tower piece from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to hot glue that to the back of my heart. I did this so that my heart would kind of stand out more from the sign. It would be more like a shadow box piece. And then I'm just going to hot glue my heart down to the center of my sign. I'm going to take some of this boxwood that you can get from Walmart. I just cut a couple pieces off and tied them together using some floral wire. I'm going to hot glue that to the top to cover up those little holes that were right there. And then I'm going to tie a bow using some twine. I just wrapped it around my fingers a couple times, took an excess piece of twine, and then just tied a knot in the middle of that. And that's all you have to do to make this really simple twine bow. It's super cute. And then I'm going to hot glue that down to the center of the greenery, and that's it for this project.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know.
And then for this last super simple, quick and easy DIY that can be left up all year round, I plan on having these up for quite a while because I absolutely love the way they turn out. I cut out these two decals using my Cricut. Now I should have probably put a little bit more pressure on my blade when cutting these out. It is a glittery metallic kind of vinyl, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous, but it is a little bit thicker than normal vinyl. It did cut all the way through, but it did give me some issues while weeding. So just keep in mind when you're using different kind of vinyl to check what pressure or what setting you should have your Cricut on when cutting them out. It'll make your life so much easier. So I'm just going to weed these out, and then I'm going to use my Expressions vinyl transfer tape. I did get the vinyl and the transfer tape both from expressionsvinyl.com. I will have them linked below. I get a lot of questions about my transfer tape. This is by far my favorite. And then I'm just going to apply those decals to my candlesticks that I got from the Dollar Tree. And with this vinyl, it stuck to this glass really well. It was kind of, if you stuck it down once, there was no bringing it back up, so make sure you get it exactly where you want it before you press it down. And then to finish these off, I'm going to take some twine. I'm going to wrap it around the top a couple of times, tie it in a double knot, and then I will tie a bow on there as well. I'll cut off the excess twine, and that's it for these candlesticks. Super easy. This took me like 5 minutes to do, and I thought they turned out absolutely adorable. Like I said, I'll have these up in my house for a really long time, especially because I love that rose gold, shiny, glittery vinyl that I put on there. I think it's absolutely adorable.
If I will ever figure out where the road goes, even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
And that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, make sure to check out Brittany's channel in the description box below. Let me know what your favorite project was in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Won't stop for traffic lights.